Let's go to the man himself, who I do believe is at an airport right now, about to board a flight. There he is. He told me he'd find a quiet spot. It looks like he found a quiet spot. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Yeah, I'm a real professional out here, Ariel. What do you think I was going to do?
No, you are the man. And I remember after your Chiesa fight, you came on, I think, from the airport as well. So, we've done this before. Kevin, very sorry to hear this news, shocking news to me and so many others. Could you tell me when you found out that you were being released from the UFC?
Yesterday morning through email, That was kind of the worst part about it. Didn't really have the proper notice or even get a phone call about it.
No phone call, no text, no nothing, an email. From who?
From Tracy, who sends out all the bout agreements. So it wasn't even from Sean or Hunter or Dana or any of these guys. And honestly, that's what pisses me off the most is the lack of respect.
Have you heard from them since? Anything?
I heard from Hunter. He kind of fed me some bullshit, but not from nobody else.
Okay. So when you get that email, what is your reaction?
First I was shocked a little bit. I didn't really understand what's going on. But then once I talked with my manager, talked with the agent, and kind of made sure that it was official, I hopped on the phone with a bunch of other people and pissed, a little bit embarrassed. And it really doesn't make much sense to me.
And so did you have any premonition, any feeling, any inkling that this was coming down, or were you completely blindsided by it?
I had a feeling once that last fight was over, and it was a shit fight. I'm the first to admit that. But once that last fight was over and Dana was kind of talking bad on me, I had a feeling like something else was going on. I don't think it necessarily had to do with the fight. Of course, that's what they're going to tell me. I'm on a 2-fight losing streak or whatever. One was to the world champion. But I think there was more politics and stuff going on behind the scenes, and I got caught in the middle of that.
What do you mean by that? Could you elaborate?
I mean, I don't really know no more than that. I just know it was more than just the fight, I know it was more than just about my fighting skills, and I know it was a lot more than what's on the surface.
You said that Hunter Campbell, the chief counsel for the UFC, did reach out to you and he fed you some BS, as you said. What did he say to you?
I reached out to him.
Oh, you reached out to him. Wow.
I reached out to him.
Okay.
I found his number. So, again, that's the main thing that kind of pisses me off about this. When we in the UFC, like, that's really all you fighting for is your respect. People respect you for being a UFC fighter when they hear the name, like they automatically kind of give you some respect. We're not doing it really for the money. It ain't a whole lot of fame in this shit. So it's like, okay, I've done all this shit for y'all. I've put myself on and put my body on the line just to end up with, an alcohol problem and some tax problems. And at the end of the day, you take my respect away from me too. It's like, okay, well then, shit.
What did he say to you?
I'm gonna stop right there. Like I said, he fed me some shit. Like, you go be a champion in another organization, and I can make a whole lot more money outside the UFC. I think that they understand that too. That's definitely the truth. I can make a whole lot more money being a free agent. So he kind of told me what I already knew,
Mm-hmm. Long conversation?
But they a little bit, but I kind of cut him off because he wasn't really telling me like what was the real reason, you know what I mean? What's really going on? So yeah, I kind of cut him off.
You mentioned, the politics. Can I throw a theory your way?
Sure, you do it. You speak.
Okay. Well, I think you are right to a degree. I think that yes, you are on the 2-fight losing streak. However, as you mentioned, one of those losses was to the current champion Charles Oliveira, which is nothing to, sneeze at. You have multiple knee injuries. You come back after a year and a half, and you stumble in that fight, but you were out for a year and a half, and it's tough to come back and look like your old self in your return fight. 2 years ago, you're knocking out Gregor Gillespie at Madison Square Garden in front of 18,000 people, The Rock, the President of the United States, and everyone's saying that you're the next big thing, at 155, you're the new Kevin Lee, reinvented himself, all that stuff. Fine. Since then, as you know, no breaking news here. Francis himself has talked about it on the show. Francis Ngannou, who's also represented by your manager/agent, Markel Martin of CAA, they're not seeing eye to eye. Markel and the UFC aren't seeing eye to eye. There's CAA, there's Endeavor. They don't see eye to eye because they're two of the biggest talent agencies on the planet. I think you may have been caught in the middle, and the fact that you had the USADA thing, the fact that you had the 2-fight losing streak is a good reason to say, hey, let's go our separate ways. You could be a champion somewhere else, make some money, and maybe come back here. But in reality, you can't get rid of the heavyweight champ right now, so it's a lot easier to get rid of the guy who doesn't have a belt around his waist. Am I crazy, or is that the politics that you were referring to?
It could be. We speculating right now. I didn't hear that from a definite. Dana didn't call me on the phone and tell me that. So we speculating, but if I was speculating right, I would think so. And at the end of the day, we kind of already know this is a hard sport. This is a hard thing that we're getting into. So, you're going to have them ups and them downs, especially when you're fighting at the top level. And I think they were just, the timing was just off and they were waiting for the right moment. And I kind of gave it to them by losing that last fight. And they took it and they ran with it. They, have other agendas, and you will always meet that agenda at some point.
However, that fight was in August. Why do you think this is happening on the last day of November?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish they would have told me this 2 months ago. I'd already been fighting by now. Right. I wanted to fight in December. I wouldn't have to serve the suspension in Nevada. So I don't know. It's kind of a dick move, isn't it? Kind of pisses you off a little bit more, don't it?
Well, yeah, that's why I thought maybe something new happened. Like, sometimes we hear someone turns down fights, this and that, but you're dealing with the suspension. So the timing of it, like, why does it happen now? That's the part that I don't quite understand.
Yeah, I agree with you. I guess it happened 2 weeks ago. On November 17th is when they finalized it, but didn't tell me until yesterday. And like I said, it was by email. So I don't know. I honestly don't know the politics behind it. I don't know if other people were in negotiations. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Wait,
it would have been nice to have a conversation and be able to fight out my contract,
How many fights did you have left on it?
I think I had 2. I renegotiated before I fought Oliveira, a fight that I didn't really want to take that they got me to do.
Okay, so you had 2 left. Why November 17th? What makes you think that?
That was the date that was on the email, but I don't know why. They didn't send out the email until yesterday. It's crazy.
Wow, that is bizarre. And so in that whole stretch, the only phone call you've had with anyone from the UFC is Hunter Campbell, who you reached out to. No one has actually reached out to you and said, thanks for your services. Much respect. God bless. Good luck in your future endeavors.
Exactly. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
that's,
the politics are a way of life. Every job has politics and you have to deal with it. That's just life. But not even to get a phone call, that actually would bother me more than the politics. Like, getting caught up in some politics is like, okay, that's just, the way it is. But to not even get, like, a phone call lasts 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and I think it goes a long way. I feel for you when I hear that. And that is disappointing to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little still emotional right now. So I'm obviously pissed. A lot of people telling me not to bash them and keep the bridge open. Right? They're even telling me that. Okay, yeah, you can come back at some point. Honestly, I don't really want to. Why would I want to work with somebody who is going to disrespect me like that? That's crazy. That's the only thing we fight for in this game. So my only goal and objective right now is to show that they just made one of the worst mistakes that they did. And I'll be a millionaire within the year or so. So that's pretty fun.
It's not even 24 hours old as far as, the world finding out, but have you heard from anyone out there, other promotions, you or your management, who are interested in signing you since the news broke?
Yeah, I got 3 different offers on yesterday
already.
So yeah, so right now we gonna do a little bit of negotiating, and
okay.
We gonna talk. We gonna the thing is I'm still serving the suspension, So I might just wait to the end of the suspension. Maybe if I would have found out a month ago, I'd already be signed with a promotion, but we'll see.
When's it up? So it would be 6 months, right? So 6 months dating back to August. So what would that be? August. So February? It's up in February?
February 28th.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
February 28th.
So, I mean, a little over 2 months away. No big deal. Could you tell us who these 3 promotions are?
I mean, I'll tell you who you know, there's Triller that's interested. I don't know if I should mention them, to be honest with you.
All right. I don't want to get you in trouble. I mean, that was one. I'll tell you, Triller, obviously, they're paying guys a lot of money. They're paying guys who, let's be honest, some of them are past their prime. You're in your prime. You're 29, man. You're not even 30 yet. And like I said, not that long ago, you're knocking out undefeated Gregor Gillespie. So I thought Triller would be a great fit. I thought PFL would be a great fit for someone like you. And you talk about $1 million. That's the name that came to mind with their tournament format. Do you have do you have a preference? I don't want to box you in, but like in your mind, you don't have to tell me the name. In your mind, you have a place like, I want to go there. I want to be a part of this group.
I'm a prize fighter. So at the end of the day, I'm going to go to who paid me the most.
Okay.
PFL do got their $1 million tournament, but there's a lot of ways to make millions out here. And I can make a whole lot more than I ever did with the UFC even. I've had, top billing spots with the UFC, about 8 main events. So that's a lot of millions put towards marketing. So I'm going to leverage that now. So there is a part of me that does want to thank the UFC for all that. They made me famous in the game, at least. Anybody who understands even a little bit of MMA knows who I am. So it's now time for me to leverage that and really make money with these other promotions.
I think your manager, who said this to me yesterday, nailed it. There's never been a better time to be a free agent in combat sports, especially in MMA. I think I don't even know how much you made in the UFC. You don't have to share that, but I feel pretty confident saying, despite that you will make a lot more outside of the UFC, just hearing what other people are paying right now.
For sure. I mean, I maybe touched $1 million over 7 years, and I'm
combined
$1 million within a year. Combined.
Wow. Does that help make this an easier pill to swallow? Like once the emotions go away, are you already excited, or are you still grieving?
I am. I'm excited to honestly, I'm excited to get in there in a different arena too, a little bit. That should be interesting. That should be fun. I kind of needed a restart anyway. So that part should be fun. Of course I'm excited for the money. People respect money more than anything. Apparently, because at the end of the day, like, they're gonna disrespect you anyway. So you might as well get the money. Then they can't say shit about it. So I'm excited for all that. Some new challenges. There's a lot of big fights outside the UFC. There's a lot of like good competition too. So I'm gonna make sure we pick the right guys, and we're gonna have fun with this.
In this new chapter, you think you're fighting at 55 or 70?
170. Okay. 170 still, for sure.
You're done with 55? I can
fight a lot more often, and I'm still growing into my body at 170. That's what the timing of this doesn't really make sense to me. I felt like I was getting stronger in that last fight even. Nobody comes back off of 2 knee surgeries within 18 months. I can't think of another person that does. Usually people take 2-3 years off or something like that. So, I'm still growing, and I'm still getting stronger by the day.
I don't know if you saw this, but Rizvan Magomedov, the CEO of Eagle FC, which is Khabib Nurmagomedov's promotion, they're coming to the U.S. next year. They announced 10 or so fights. They've expressed public interest. They told MMAfighting.com's Damon Martin that they'd like to talk to you. The irony there is rich, considering the fact that you were the guy trying to fight Khabib for years and then Islam for years. I mean, is there any interest there on your part, or is that just a little too weird for you?
If the money is right, if the money is right, we will talk. If the money is right, they got this, they got that Russian money over there.
Yeah.
I might, I don't know. We'll see. That would be interesting. I feel like that's something that we could definitely sell.
Yes. That would be crazy. After all these years.
Yeah. That could be sold. That's fun.
Okay. So you're not just shutting it down. You're open to talking to anyone, basically.
Yeah, if the money is right, I'm there. At this point, it's all about prize fighting, and then we'll go after championships.
proudest moment of your UFC run, almost 8 years. You fought a lot of big names, had a lot of big wins, had that great run up until that big fight against Tony Ferguson. What a week that was with the shooting and the emotion involved. When you look back on your run, what are you most proud of?
You know, I'm proud that I always stepped up and fought people. You know, I didn't, as afraid as I was, and as much as people told me not to fight these certain dudes that I did when I did. I'm kind of proud that I did that. I learned a lot about myself through that. The fights with like Edson Barboza, where like I barely even remember that fight. It was such a whirlwind. Tony Ferguson, even Chiesa when I fought him. Francisco Trinaldo. I fought a lot of like really, really tough dudes that people said that I shouldn't have fought. I mean, my advice to anybody that's coming up in this game, all these new contenders and these dudes from Contender Series and shit that I've never even heard.
Oh. Did we lose him?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you there. We lost your video there. Oh, yeah, there you go.
My bad. Sorry about that.
Your advice, you were saying.
I said to all these new Contender Series guys and stuff that's coming up is don't take these tough fights. I ain't gonna lie to you. Don't do it. Cherry pick. That's what they really want to see. You know, they say they want somebody to step up and take the tough fights and do all this. Man, they're gonna be your best friend when they want you to take the fight. They'll damn near get on their hands and knees, but then afterwards, they'll kick you to the curb. So people told me that going into the UFC too. They told me that same thing. I didn't really listen. You know, I just kept trying to give them what they want, but don't even do that. Cherry pick. Cherry pick like a motherfucker.
That is good advice.
You'll get further that way.
Right.
Help Sean O'Malley right.
Right. I was going to say that. The unranked Sean O'Malley route, fighting on pay-per-view over guys like Dominic Cruz. It's working for him. Health-wise, how are you doing? You know, we talked about the Adderall and all that stuff last time, the alcohol. Since we last spoke over a month or so ago, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's been about 2 or 3 months since I've had a drink. So, you know, like a serious drink. You know, I've had wine here and there, but even that has been cutting out a lot. So I feel a lot healthier and a lot more balanced from day to day. You know, my days go a lot smoother now. That's something that that was irrefutable of any of this. You know, it was all about like actually growing as a person. So I'm in a good place in that regard, at least.
Okay.
So everything's coming together the way it should, you know?
And perfect world, when would you like to fight again? I know you have the suspension that we just talked about, but perfect world, when are you thinking?
March sounds good. Late March sounds good, you know? Okay. Give me enough time to get into a training camp. We can really set it up right and we can really promote this thing. I guess it's about time for me to throw my promoter hat back on.
Yeah.
So I haven't had that hat on in about 4 years. So we should have some fun.
Hey, I'm not ready to give up on you, man. 29. You still have many, many more years to come. You're going to make a lot of money outside of the UFC. I know you're probably bummed. No one wants to be released or whatever like that, especially with no real warning. So I give you a lot of credit for the way you're handling this. You're probably biting your tongue a little bit, and I respect that. But just coming on less than 24 hours later is a really cool thing. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, of course. You know, I think I've got a lot of people that really support me. And I got a lot of quality people that really support me. So they're going to do that regardless. You know, I still got a lot of time left in this game. So the best chapter is definitely going to come, especially once I start making real money.
I wish you the best, Kevin. Keep us posted. I know you have a flight to catch, so thank you for doing this from the airport. Yeah. Much respect, my man, and hold your head high, and looking forward to what's next for you.
One love, Ariel.
All right, there he is. Kevin Lee. He said love, Kevin Love, Cleveland Cavaliers, Motown Phenom. Very cool of him to come on from the airport. The part about the email sticks with me. No one deserves to be let go from their job that way.